Hello, I'm Chris, this is Gross Models, and welcome to issue 4, building the Delorean from Back to the Future. Another iconic car build that I'm doing. Yes, what more can you say? It's the Delorean, it's from Back to the Future. Let's get into the magazine. Well, actually, this one starts with the build. So first of all, we'll just have a look at some of the pictures and the contents. Yeah, all good. Then the parts that we have today. And straight into the build. So let me clear the decks. I've got the parts already ready underneath my little tray. So this one, we're building the reactor. It says, step 1, fit the yellow part into the center part of 4B. That's that bit and that bit and that. So that it clicks lightly into place. There's a little toothed bayonet area and a slot there. So get them in the right place. And that should, therefore, if I got that right, right, I think I missed the slot. I don't like it when I miss the slot. Let's try again. It goes all the way round, and then we'll come out. That's interesting. So that does fit in there, but it doesn't really click into place. Unless it does. Wait. No, it doesn't. It doesn't click. It just says turn it clockwise, so it locks into position with part 4B. Right, well, this is a little bit different to how it's pictured on there, in that it's got 2 connections. This only has the one. So that goes in there and will basically turn around so it butts up against the other side of that. Like that. But it still sort of comes out. I don't know. This is what the assembled piece should look like. It does. It looks like that. I'm assuming that somehow that's going to be fitted better. Or maybe when it's all together, it'll fit more securely. But let's continue on with the reactor. Oh, this is what we're going to be using it now. Look. This part will go onto the bottom of that way up. So we've got a peg and 2 screw holes. The peg goes into that hole. The screw holes go into those 2 holes there. And we need some AP screws to go into there. We've got lots of AP screws. So let's get a selection of those out, because I'm sure we're going to be using many of them as the build progresses. Let's get one ready in there. I don't think I've got it lined up right. It doesn't feel quite right. I haven't even got it on the screwdriver properly. Right, let's try that again. That's not the screw holes that I'm aiming for. That's why I'm having trouble. These are the screw holes you were aiming for. The little sunken ones, not the big pokey ones. Big pokey ones are different. Yeah, no, it is. I'm double guessing and looking at myself, because the picture in the magazine is a little bit different to this one here. It's got a different number of prongs up and around it. So things have obviously changed from where they designed it and prototyped it in relation to this part. We knew that already because of the bit that bayonet is in, but there's also a difference with this as well. So that goes in there. That bit will still just pop out, so I don't know why we quite had to do that quite yet, because it's still just going to be a bit loose for now. But anyway, that's that in there. Lock it back around somewhere out the way. Then we are putting this cover piece on. It's got to go the right way round, so that is down. That will stop things happening, I think, maybe. We'll find out. That is being held in place with some CP screws. Not the AP. Different. A couple of springs in that bag there. That's quite interesting. So CP are really tiny. They're teeny tiny little screws. So I'm going to go to a smaller screwdriver. I don't remember if this is the one that came with this. No, it might have come with this. I don't recall. So we'll get that in place on there. I have fun getting everything together on this one. I can sense there being trouble ahead. So we get that in there. Does that feel like that's going in? It doesn't feel like that's biting. I don't think CP screws are the correct screws to use for this part. I think things may have changed again. Let's try an AP. An AP screw does in fact fit in there, so let's use that instead. We have lots of AP screws, and obviously from previous issues I've got a couple of spares of a few different types of screw, which I can go back and find if need be. So let's get those in there. We're fixing the transparent reactor component to the center of the disc. So that goes on there. So this obviously does come off. You've got to be able to remove that so you can still see the transparent part in the middle there. So that will fit on and fit on, in, and tighten round one way or the other. Which way will it go? I can't, it goes anti-clockwise. So yeah, that'll go around in there. It doesn't actually fit in place very well because it's only got one side of the bayonet on it. So yeah, I don't know about that. We'll come back to that in a moment. But first of all, we're putting the Mr. Fusion bit together. That says use 3 AP screws. So I'm pretty sure that that's going to be correct. Keep it in there. So 1 in there. 1 in there. And 1 in the final place over that side there. Cool. Then we have some more parts to do. Oh, if I can get that one in there. Feels like that's not quite right though. This is not 100% ideal. Apart from the fact that if I leave it like this, it's going to have big screw holes on the side of it, which don't look pretty. I may tidy them up. I don't know. We'll figure out at the end of the build what I'm going to do to make things look a little bit better. But that goes on there. We then have to play around with the clear parts. We've got this bit and that bit. And that just fits on top of there, apparently. Again, it sort of fits, but it doesn't stay fitted. But that's going to go into there anyway, so that doesn't actually matter that that's separate, because that's going to be fitted into there. But that will hold it all together as well. Click the chamber lid on top. Like that. See, that's okay. It's not great. There's some mold issues, unless that's something else. I can't tell from here. But that's okay, but that is less okay. So, yeah, we might be coming back and doing some modifications with that. But that's what we've got so far there. Next up, we are taking this part and that part, which is going through there like that with, guess what, an AP screw in either side. That's interesting. Creating a hinge. Make sure it goes through the white bit first and then lines up through the black bit. Okay. Do that, and one more on the other side as it said. There we go. That's that. That's making that as a hinge. Make sure the large circular hole is indeed where it should be. There, that bit's on the inside. That does turn. It's stiff, but it moves. That's okay. This is then going onto the top of that, and an AP screw is holding that together there. So that is in fact the lid, which will hinge down over that. AP screw through the hole into corresponding hole on that part. Mr. Fusion chamber, apparently. Go, that's that. Next up is the Mr. Fusion is fitting to the top of this. Right, guess what, with an AP screw, just in case you ran out of AP screws, you need some more. That one So this is going to fit onto the top like that with an AP screw going through there. All good so far. Fairly happy with that. So that's the Mr. Fusion, quite straight, but straight enough. So you can lift it up, put your stuff in there, and then it bubbles up and makes your reaction work. Right, we are then installing these two pieces together. That one that way round and that one that way round, with DP screws going through there. They didn't give me any DP screws. What's a DP screw up? What? I shall have to investigate and see exactly what's going on there. I shall return momentarily. Okay, I have double checked my packaging and my area, and I have no DP screws, but I've put those CP screws in there and they seem to fit fine. They work fine. I think, I don't know, as I say, things are obviously different between this and the magazine, so hopefully it's just a simple matter that they've mislabeled things and that's as it should be, but I don't know for sure. Hopefully this will still work. We'll find out in a moment. This is being fitted to there, that way round on there like that, and that does say an AP screw should hold that in place. I have one spare of those that still haven't used. By the looks of the magazine, the DP screws are a slightly smaller version of the CP, but I haven't as yet used them in this build, so I don't know for sure. That's gone on there. That's okay like that. Okay. Now we have to fit the springs. This is where we see if it really works or not. Because these also, according to the magazine, as you can see in the picture-in-picture, should be using DP screws, of which, I say, I haven't got. So we'll see if the CP screws work and fit. If not, I shall have to contact them and say, hey, can you send me the right bits, please? So let me get out a couple of these. It says they send you 6 of each, but we're obviously only using, you know, a few of them anyway. So why they would send you 6 of them and you only need to use 2, I'm not entirely certain. So let's see. I'm going to put my visor and get closer and see exactly what's happening with these, and use a small pair of tweezers as well, because we need to put the spring over that red pin like that, and then get a screw through from the top to sort of hold it in place. So yeah, the CP screw is certainly going through the hole there. It's coming down and it's engaging in the top half of that spring. So I think it's going to work. We'll find out for sure once I get the second one in and we see that it doesn't actually do anything. Let's find out. I don't know if these springs are meant to be strong enough to actually work the hatch. Maybe they would if the screws were slightly thinner and smaller in the hinge part. I don't know. But they've gone in there okay. Yeah, it's not really springing it closed, but then again the springs aren't really going up and down, they're bending backwards and forwards a little bit. I don't know if you can quite make those out. The way the springs are working is not an actual spring work thing. But that goes out, it goes back in place, it stays where it should be. So I think that's going to be okay. Next up, we need 3 more AP screws. For the final part of this build. 1, 2, there's a third one. attaching it to there. So that's going to go. Let's check and make sure which way round it goes. That bit is going towards the shaped piece there. They are locking in place on that, like that. And the screws will go through there and hold it in place. Now, luckily, while I'm doing this build, I'm well behind other people. People have finished it or almost finished it. So I can investigate YouTube and watch old videos of people putting this together and see if they've done it any differently. If they've got different parts to me, they may have changed it over the course of the last year or two. Other things may have happened. Whichever way, we'll figure it out as time goes by. I wonder if is that going to be a replacement for that? Is that the old version? Would that go on there instead? It wouldn't actually attach instead. Or does that? I don't know. We'll figure it out. They'll tell us at some point in the future. But that is what our assembled reactor should look like, and does indeed look like, except for the horrible big screw holes on the side there. We'll look at it from that side. It's much nicer. So yeah, it unclips, it opens, you can put in whatever you need to put in, your banana peels and things. Close it up and it locks in place. So that's that. We're getting some paint chip off from the edge there as that hinge screw works, and that was definitely the correct screw in there as well. So I shall touch that up with some white paint. I should probably tidy up that screw as well, make that white. Definitely do something about those at some point as well, so yeah. Right, let's have a look at the rest of the magazine. Because it's not just about the build, you get the magazine with it as well, so I might as well show you the magazine while I'm doing the build. The real Doc Brown, yeah, it's not, it's the car. I don't quite understand, but there we go. That's the unmodified 1981 DeLorean, the MC-12 starting point for the film, and that's, yeah, that looks alright, looks a bit futuristic and strange, but that adds to it, doesn't it? There we go. There we have the Mr. Fusion in the flesh, as it were, fitted to the back there. There's a full-scale replica of the DeLorean. Nice. There we go. Yeah, so that's the bit that we've just built as well. So is that instead of, or is that that's there? So yeah, it is in place of that at some point, somewhere, maybe. That was like the original thing, and then the misfusion went on afterwards. So, yeah, there we go. That's that. You can read all that about the lights and stuff. It's hard to imagine anyone but Christopher Lloyd in the role of Emmett Brown. It really is. I just don't think you could get anyone else to do it. So, yeah, there we go. That's where he's going to be. That's where he's always going to be. And that's that. In this issue, Einstein is the next one that we're looking at. Fair enough, all good. Looking good. It says issue 5, The Wheel. Yeah, something's not quite right, because we did that last time. That was issue 3. Issue 3 was The Wheel. Yeah, something's not quite right there. Issue 5 is in fact not The Wheel. Issue 5 is that. That was this time, Mr. Fusion. Next time we've got the suspension area. So yeah, this magazine seems to be a little bit wrong. But we got through it, we worked it, it works, it's fine. And we'll continue on like nothing has ever happened. We'll forget about issue 4 and continue very shortly with issue 5. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye bye for now.